Hey everybody! How is the wonderful evening treating you? Today, of course, this is Kathy with Kincaid Special Creation coming to you with a new West Virginia Facebook Live. Just gonna wait till a few people get in here so I can do my talking. Anybody intrigued about the title? I'm sure you've all heard about what we're going to talk about this evening, but I just thought it was, hey Stevie, I thought it was a good segue into next week so that we would be ready. I don't know whether anybody has ever seen a solar eclipse before. They had one down at a partial one when I worked down at the park, and a whole bunch of people come in and was able to stand out there. We stood out there and watched it go over the sky. We didn't see the sun, but we seen the shadow chasing across the walkway. Hey Mandy, how are you? I found out some really cool information about a solar eclipse, actually. I always do when I do this research for these things. I really need to get me a new pair of glasses, though, because these are getting so that I can't read that little teeny tiny writing. I have to blow it up to be able to read it. So, I think I'm going to work on getting me a pair of glasses this month. Let me see if I can get me in here now. Let me mute me first before we get in there. I remembered. Refresh me. Let's see. There I am. There I am. I got two of you watching me. Your internet's out. Janet is doing fine. She is without power and internet. So you know she's walking the walls. Jewel's doing pretty good. So, Aunt Joan is home if anybody's interested. Janet told me yesterday she got to come home. So, that's a good thing. I hunted all over my place. I knew that I had one of them wheelie chairs that you sit down in. And I also found a wheelchair. So we're going to have Janet take them down to her on Friday so she can help herself get up and down and move across the floor if she has to go to the bathroom or whatever. So that'll be good. Hey, Jason. Are you not working today? You still without power up there? All right. Well, I'm going to get started because if I don't, 30 minutes will come and go and we'll be like, what? So what we're going to talk about is on Monday, we're going to have it's going to be a total eclipse across the United States, but in our area here, we're going to be able to see a partial eclipse. So that's going to be interesting. So I thought I would do a little bit of research on what a solar eclipse is and why we have them. And the reason is a solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes through the center part of the earth and makes the center part of the earth shadow. Despite the fact that the sun is 400 times larger than the moon. And I think it said 400 times farther away from the earth than hi Tim, hi Brian, than the moon. When they meet up like that, it's like if you're standing in the foreground and there's something a lot bigger in the background, then you can disappear it. So that's what's happening when the moon comes in and the sun is there. The moon is coming across the sun, but because it's so much farther away, the moon is as big as the sun because it's closer to us. So then it becomes a total eclipse. It completely makes the sun go dark for a little bit. how many, let me get in here and do these. I'll tell you what, we had a heck of a storm. I'm sidetracking answering Stephen's question. Yesterday, we had one heck of a storm. Heck of a storm. They even said a tornado touched down up where the Upper Bandies is at. Janet and Dean said they went out and looked, and it really looks bad up there. So, I guess they're right. Timmy and them will get to see them when they come in on Friday. I was going to ride up there, but nah, I ain't going to do that. I want to do it by myself. Ain't nobody to talk to when you go out by yourself. But anyway, they said it was pretty nasty up that way. I vaguely remember somewhere a few years ago there was a tornado touchdown in Golly Bridge. Went up the mountainside, took out a bunch of trees. But this is the closest that it's been. For me, I'm going to turn off my TV. So it's
hot, you guys.
Did you count the money? Oh, because it's already...
Well, maybe. So it ain't competing with my Wi-Fi. See if that helps. But if we go up there and take pictures, we'll be sure to put them on Facebook so everybody can see. Back to the different types of eclipses. Yes, that's what they say. Do not absolutely, in no way, shape, or form, do you look at the sun when it's going through an eclipse. Well, you don't look at the sun, period. You know, if you're driving down the road and that sunshine comes in, you know how it blinds you for temporarily. Well, I'd say if you'd look at it direct on, it probably wouldn't be a good idea. Hey, Jansu! The first type of the eclipse is called a total eclipse. And it can only be seen if you're standing in the umbra, which I'll explain later, shadow. The area in which it can be seen worldwide is called its path of totality. So there's a small, it's not small, but in retrospect to the Earth, it's a small path that will be having the total eclipse. Partial eclipse is standing in the penumbra shadow, is where the moon passes the sun off center and is not fully covering the sun. An angular eclipse is like the total eclipse, but it appears not to be fully covered, the sun leaving a ring showing around the outside edge. And there's something called an hybrid eclipse, which is a mix between the angular and the total eclipse. Now, here are the answers to the question. What is the umbra and the penumbra? I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, probably not, but I'm doing as close a job as I can. The umbra is a smaller shadow cast by the moon during the eclipse, which you can see the total eclipse. So it's a shadow that comes over that completely blocks out the sun. So at that point, it'll be total darkness. That's a scary place to be in the middle of the daytime. You would get all messed up. The penumbra is a larger shadow cast in a bigger area and is where only a partial eclipse is seen, which is where we may fall into according to all the research I did. How often does it occur? It really depends. The last one was in 2021. Then there's this one coming up April the 8th. That's somebody's birthday. Wesley's, I think. Happy birthday early, Wesley. August the 12th of 2026 will be the next one. August the 2nd of 2027. July the 22nd of 2028. Those are going to come 26, 27, 28. Back to back. Then it don't come around again until November 25 of 2030 and March the 20th of 2023. There was a long list. I just wrote those 6 down. Then another list that I come across, which has to do with the solar eclipse, gives you these dates. So there'll be a lunar eclipse this September the 17th and 18th. I guess they do that because it starts on one day and ends on the other, so they give you the 2-day span. It's going to be a partial, and it will be able to be seen in certain parts of North America. Next one will be October the 2nd of 2024, and it's what they call the angular solar eclipse, and it'll also be seen in North America. March the 12th and 13th of 2025 will be a total lunar eclipse. So I guess the Earth will completely shade the sun from the moon to where the moon won't get any light on that day. And March the 29th, 2025 is going to be a partial solar eclipse. And September the 7th and 8th of 2025 will be another total lunar eclipse. All those will be seen in North America. I'm thinking that's awful close together. I don't remember. Of course, I never paid any attention to any of this kind of stuff until I started researching, trying to find stuff that I can put in my planner. Stuff that I can now make savings challenges out of, just something to make it more fun to save stuff. So that's what I'm working on now. Can you watch an eclipse? Yes, however, you will have to be very careful not to look directly at the sun because it'll hurt your eyes. We can always wear protective eyewear, which they sell on Amazon. It's called the Lunt, L-U-N-T Solar Systems. You can get a 10-pack for $24.95. Don't think you can get them delivered by Monday, but you might. And a 5-pack for $19.99. Or you can take a piece of sturdy cardboard, like the piece of a cardboard box, one of those real thick pieces of cardboard, and cut you a little circle in the middle. It don't even have to be as big as your finger. And you stand with it where the sun can shine, the sunshine comes down through that hole. And watch it on something solid like your sidewalk, your deck, something that's flat, surfaced. And as the solar stuff comes in and goes down through that hole, you'll be able, on that flat surface beneath it, you'll be able to see the solar eclipse happen. But do not ever, ever, ever look directly into the sun during an eclipse. I don't care if it's in the total darkness, because you don't know how long that eclipse is going to last, and it could sneak out on you real quick and hurt your eyes. Who will see the eclipse? I printed out a couple of papers offline. This one is the path of the solar eclipse. I'm assuming since the sun rises in the east, it's going to come from this way and go down. But I don't know that. It doesn't tell you the direction of it. It just shows you the path. In that path is Indiana, and just a short distance away from Lexington. So I just felt like it'd be a good possibility that Chrissy might be able to see it. I think I've got my pages mixed up here. Printed them off, and yep. Anyway, and then we have Betty, Janet's sister-in-law, who lives in Mississippi. She may be able to see it. But here in West Virginia, we'll see a partial eclipse. But I looked on a different map. This one. All right, that one. This one, which was on wboy.com/eclipse. And it shows you all the places in West Virginia that you might be able to see a partial. And look, it's almost covering the whole state. And when I looked it up, in our area, which was Ames, Lansing, this area here, it's going to be 91.68% covered. That's almost like a total eclipse. So I'm going to see if I can go out on the deck, right out here, fix me a spot, set up my camera with one of those pieces of cardboard, and see if my camera will pick up that going across the sky. See if it actually works on the bottom. I don't know if it will or it won't. I know it worked when we was down at the park. They showed us how to do it, and we enjoyed watching them. But you really have, it cannot be stressed enough not to look directly at the sun. How long will it last? On one of the websites, it says that the total eclipse in the area that you're watching, of course, is going to go across. But in the area that you're watching, the total eclipse, maximum it's going to last is 3 minutes. May not be that long, but it's usually not more than 3 minutes, or few seconds after 3 minutes. But the whole eclipse time can last hours, like 2 to 3 hours. But the total eclipse is only going to be about 3 minutes. Because, you know, the moon's going fast, the sun's going fast, so we'll be able to see in real time how fast everything's going, because they're going to separate and go their old merry ways. This also said, for all of us animal lovers, that your babies, he's laying right here beside me. We moved the desk back over here in the dining room area, and he's laying underneath the desk right beside me. Right there. Every time I come over here to work on this desk, the dog's laying right there. I had to go get his blanket, put it underneath there so he'd have something to lay on. Laying there snoozing. So I'm hoping that Sam doesn't turn into Jinx, because Jinx can be mean at times. So we're hoping that Sam just stays there and be Sam and don't alter his attitude. So that's about all I have. Has anybody ever been somewhere where they've seen a solar eclipse? I know Stevie and Brian's traveled all over the place. Maybe they've seen one before. At 3:30 in the afternoon. Oh, that'd be cool, Janet. We're supposed to be able to see it here starting at 1:56:42. It's 1:56 and 42 seconds. And then it'll go away at 3:14:08. So I'm going to try. I mean, I think it's really fascinating that it's coming around again. We had it, I don't remember. I've been retired from the park for over 6 years now, so it was sometime before then. Like I said, we seen a partial one down here. Hi, Chris. I don't know, 6 or 7, or 8 or 9 years ago, maybe now. I don't remember, but I got to stand outside. I was working front desk, but they let me stand outside with a big group of people that was doing them, so that I could get to see it was just a partial solar eclipse at that time, but it was fascinating. It was a one, well, I guess now it'll be a 2 in a lifetime. But then, if I'm still around, it'll be in 26, 20, 25, 26, and 26, 27, and 28. So we'll have 3 more chances. Relatively quick. Yeah, 26th, 27th, and 28th. You'll get to see another one. And this one also says there's going to be one on October the 2nd. So that makes 4. And 5 if you count March of next year. So there'll be 25, 26, 27, and 28. That's a lot that's a weird thing. Maybe it's happened like that before. I didn't check back in time before. Hey, Chris, we've been talking about a solar eclipse. Have you ever seen one? I'm thinking you're going to get to see a really close to full solar eclipse in your area, because it's like going through Illinois, Indiana, Illinois, and that area for the full thing of a solar eclipse. But everybody else is going to get a. Oh, did you? Yeah, they said, well, I know it's going to be close, just a short distance from Lexington. I didn't know. You ain't in Louisville. You ain't in Louisville on Mondays, are you? Because that's when it's going to be, and that's when they said that it would be a close to Louisville, not right. You'll still be in the partial eclipse, but not in the full total eclipse. But they said you can always drive to where the total eclipse is going to be. I'm not driving to Illinois. I've been out there one time. Timmy drove me out in a big truck. We went to deliver some kind of load out in Glen Allen, Illinois. And we drove through Indiana. The only curve we made through Indiana was around Indianapolis. And back home, there was a rainbow and clouds so low in the sky that if I stood on top of that semi, I could have reached up and touched them. They were a beautiful double rainbow. Oh, it was gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They say a welding. I don't know what's going on with this. It kicked me out. Maybe don't like me talk about the solar eclipse. I don't know whether you were there or not. I don't know whether it's come back up on your end. Yeah, I know it's locking up. That's what it says over here. I may have to cut this one short so that it can get straightened up. I don't know if we're getting ready to have another storm or what's going on. They say you have to have something that's really super, super, super strong. A welding helmet might do, but I still wouldn't look directly into the sun. I just wouldn't. Oh, yeah, that's right. Tuesdays you're in Louisville. Well, you still should be able to see part of it. So, all right, guys. That was all I had to tell you as far as it goes. I don't know what's going on with this internet, but I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and we will see you in the next one. It keeps coming and going, guys, so we'll see you all later. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.